Embrace the suck. The art of letting go and dealing with the imperfections of your garden. After all, it's not my garden. I just tend it. I'm old enough to remember magazines. I remember Better Homes and Gardens sitting on the coffee table, Mom and Grandma dreaming about those picture-perfect gardens. They were always trying to live up to some unrealistic expectation of what a garden should look like. And yes, there's an allure to having a perfect garden. But when you have critters coming in and sampling some of your sweet potato leaves, you can either stress over it or you can set a live trap. And you can grow more food. And if you don't mind sharing a little bit, you can grow tons of food. And if you're not spraying, you're going to share a little bit, and it's not going to be beautiful. One of the things I found by adding the deep mulch is there really are a lot less weeds. You can enjoy your garden a lot more. The plants are healthier. You have to water a lot less. And you get to harvest a lot more. And speaking of harvest, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of our contributors. After all, today is Saturday, and you know what that means. We go to you and we celebrate what's going on in your garden. And we've got some really nice contributors wanting to show what the hardest work you ever do in a garden, and that's harvest. Larry's been doing the hardest work he can do in his container garden. He's been harvesting every day. Peppers are looking great. He's still bringing in a nice haul. Larry, it's amazing what you can produce out of just containers. Thank you. Larry, that was wonderful. This is a year for cucumbers. You know who else is having a good year with cucumbers? Walter. Let's go ahead and see what he's up to. Walter's deep mulch garden has been producing tons of cucumbers this year. Not only did he can a bunch, he's now fermenting. But he wanted to know it wasn't all just fun and games. He's been picking off stink bugs, and something's been after his reapers. But he still says the hardest work you ever do in a deep mulch garden is harvest. Thank you, Walter. This is wonderful. Walter, that's fantastic. Walter brings up a really good point about bugs. I'm not saying don't do anything in your garden. There's things we can do to mitigate some of these problems. I'm just saying embrace the imperfections. And this is what we do about bugs. Now when your squash bugs start to multiply, a little Dawn dishwashing soap, neem oil, is just a contact spray, and that'll take care of them. If you're getting some excessive worm damage, we do have some organics that work really well. BT, Bacillus thuringiensis. It's made from a bacteria in the soil that's natural in your garden. Doesn't hurt humans or pets. The worms ingest it, they stop eating. So if you find you have a little excessive worm damage on some of your brassica leaves or some of your turnip leaves, just a couple squirts, you're good to go. We hand pick a bunch of bugs, but sometimes they get ahead of you. But we're very localized in what we want to spray. We don't just carpet bomb the entire garden. I'm okay with sharing a little bit, but when it gets out of hand, sometimes you have to do a little mitigation. So we're very selective about what we spray. And you got to check all of your plants every day. We picked these last night. Okra especially really comes on fast. These two will be tomorrow, and these will be the next day. And then we got a bunch more coming on. And as far as embracing the imperfections in the garden, right here, this corn isn't the tallest. These ears aren't the biggest. But with the weather that we had, these are ready to come off. The leaves are starting to turn brown. And I bet we got kernels in here. But I bet we also got a worm up at the top. Look at that. So he's been feasting. We'll take and clip that off. Right there. And I've got a half a ear of corn, or a quarter ear of corn. And by accepting the imperfections, well, this one ain't gonna make it to the house. And since we don't spray any horrible chemicals, it's safe to come out here and eat right off the plants. Oh, that's good. Well, while I start picking some of this, let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more of our contributors. Linda's been canning and her husband's been doing the hardest work you do in a garden, and that is harvest. Those tomatoes are well over 6 foot tall. Those jars look delicious. Linda, thank you. Linda, that was awesome. That's not a half bad ear of corn. As it is warming up this morning in northeast Oklahoma, let's go on down to Florida where it's really warm and see Bruce's Orlando food forest. Bruce enlisted some friends and family in his Orlando food forest. Check out the size of these mangoes. The harvest is on. Bruce, those were giants. Now I probably could have got a little more corn off of this first batch, but there's a couple things I want to take into consideration. And you were with me when you saw the storm come through and lay it down and we stood it back up. It also stood in water for a day or two when we had the torrential downpours. This batch of corn, the second and third waves of corn back here, we planted those on purpose just so that we'd have a decent harvest. The other thing we got to take into consideration is we've been enjoying the green space. We've actually been out here eating off of this bunch. So there really isn't very many ears left. But that's the point. You can enjoy your garden. That's what it's here for. Let's go ahead and take a look at Art. He has embraced the whole principle of enjoying the green space. Art's definitely found joy in his green spaces. His bananas are flowering, and he's got hot peppers coming in. Art, give us something to shoot for. Thank you. Art, your second round of flowers gives me encouragement that I might actually get flowers this year. But I have no idea what that is. I do believe we have a watermelon back in there. Hopefully it's one of those big yellow ones. Hit that like button. Tells YouTube to push this out to more people that might want to learn how to garden. And I do invite you to send in a photo or two of your garden. These aren't quite blush enough. I'm going to go ahead and leave those out here. But those leaves needed to come off. And unfortunately, we got some major vine borer damage on this one. I don't think we're going to be able to save it. Well, embrace the suck. Plant heavy, keep adding your mulch, come out in the garden and graze. Hardest work you're ever going to do in a deep mulch garden is harvest. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you.